So to start out a necklace, you get a circle and you just shape it around the torso. And you can just like basically copy how I'm doing it. It's not hard to do, and you don't want it like too long or too thick or too thin either. I mean, you can see how I'm doing it on screen. I show my keystrokes as well on the bottom left. So you can see all the basic keybinds that you need to know for Blender. And I normally make the depth like 0.2, and that's how I do the actual chain itself. And now I'm doing the clasp. I don't like normal circle clasps like I see a lot of people do. I like it to look like an actual clasp and not be super skinny. I like it kind of thick. So that's how I'm making it right now. And yeah. So to add the font, it's pretty simple. Honestly, it's easier to do it this way, but I know how a lot of people do it by like typing it out on a different software and then making it a plane. It makes less triangles, but I think it's a lot easier to do it this way. So this is the way I do it. And it takes me a minute to find the font I want to use, but I use Porky's, and when you use Porky's, sometimes the font itself messes up in Blender, so the way to fix that is to make the offset negative 0.01 so it doesn't like make it broken at all. So I just put the name onto it, and this is how I connect the name to the chain. I use another circle and I kind of make it like hinged at the top. So I don't really like connecting name to the basic clasp itself. I don't know, it just looks kind of cleaner this way. And yeah, so I make it. I convert all of it to mesh. You want to make sure you're converting everything to mesh, and you delete all the extra vertices because that just causes unnecessary triangles. And what I'm doing here is I'm deleting edge loops. So it makes it so you don't have to decimate as much, and there's just a lot less triangles, because to make Roblox UGC, it has to be the maximum is 4K triangles. So yeah, and I'm making the tribe now. You put a plane over it and you use K to start cutting it out. And yeah, just cutting it out right now. Also with charms, you want to make sure you're using free to use charms unless you have bought permission to use a certain charm from servers, because a lot of servers will and can DMCA you over the use of their assets. So yeah, just be careful. And after I cut out the charm, I normally go back in and I subdivide some of the vertices so it has like a cleaner look and it's more connected onto the charm itself. Like you'll see right here how it's like kind of pointy on the part that's more curved, and I don't know, I like to make it, I just like the look if it's not like that. So I always subdivide it. I look closely into each of the parts to make sure it's all lined up good enough. And after that, I cut out the charm from the plane and I extrude it. I delete the unnecessary faces that aren't used, and I am now going to cut out the tail and the cat hood. But I eventually don't use the cat hood because I don't really like the way it looked. I'm just cutting everything out right now still. And if you have a item selected in Blender. If you click H, it'll hide the asset, or the item I mean, so you don't see it anymore. But you can see all the things you've made and all the planes, all that on the right side. So now I'm going to make sure all the faces are faced correctly. So you put on face orientation, and if any of the things are red, you want to click Control. Wait, was it Control? Okay, I don't remember the keybind, but like you can see it on the bottom of the screen. And you place flip vertices or face orientation, because you need to do that or else it's going to look hollow when you upload it to Roblox, which isn't good. You don't want that. So I'm just like fixing the clasp so I can add the charm onto it, and I'm making another like, you know, thing to connect the charm onto the clasp. Takes me a little bit to like, you know, find a good placement for it because it's a decent sized charm, and I'm like kind of a perfectionist when it comes to like making it look decent. So I'm like just constantly moving things around, figuring out what's the best way it will fit. And again, after you place the connector part, the connector class, I always delete the X's vertices because that aren't going to be seen, because again, you don't need those. And just adding extra triangles. Now I'm placing the cattail. In the hood, but again, I delete it because I just didn't really like the way it looked. So after you finish the model, you want to convert everything to mesh after you decimate. Before you decimate, and again, deleting unnecessary edge loops. You click every other one because you don't. It just helps delete unnecessary triangles. So I decimate all the class mostly, and I don't do the main chain after I delete edge loops because it just makes it look all wonky. So after I decimate, I convert it to mesh, and I join all the clasps together, the chain, the clasp, all that. So it's easier to put the texture on, so you see how it looks. And now I am putting everything onto a UV map. Whenever you put text onto UV map, you want to make sure you face it straight up, because if you don't, it's going to need to look all wonky and the texture is going to look a bit weird when you try to do it, since you're going to see the bottom of it, and you don't really need to see the bottom of it like while you're doing the texturing, because it's going to be like one color right there anyways. And now I am texturing it. You can see from my iPad, I'm texturing it right now. I was going to do stripes, but decided that I'm only gonna do like a basic texture design on it because I didn't really feel like this is just for the tutorial, so I didn't feel like, you know, doing all that. And right now I made an outline texture and I'm going back through and, you know, making the outline deeper or, you know, more prominent. So here is how you put it onto the necklace itself. You click materials and then you click image texture. And then you go to your files and you just place your image texture onto the necklace. And that is how you make a simple UGC necklace. It's easy to do, but Blender can be kind of scary at first. But yeah, you can join my server if you have any questions.